Hi everyone, Nani here. I am putting together some of the food that I'll be taking on the trail, and I thought that I would share that with you. One of the things that I decided to do was dehydrate some of my food. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables and was afraid I would not get exactly what I needed and wanted out on the trail, so I started dehydrating. Dehydrating is not that hard. If you do some research and go onto Google, you can find a lot of individuals that provide safe mechanisms for being able to dehydrate. I'm going to put you on pause here for just a moment. I've been pretty happy with this unit. You can dehydrate on racks. They also have these sheets that come where you can dehydrate anything that has liquid. They also have these flat sheets that are for liquid items that you are wanting to dehydrate. I'll give you a great example of this. Believe it or not, spaghetti sauce. 1 jar of this spaghetti sauce is equal to this tiny little packet. Isn't that amazing? Let's see how much this weighs. This weighs 3 1/8 ounces, and that is a 24-ounce jar of spaghetti sauce. I thought the beauty of this is you can take your own spaghetti noodles with you in a pack that weigh nothing, and you can take some of this with you. You would use about half of this and boil it in with your spaghetti noodles as well, because this is already cooked, it's already prepared. It's not going to take anything for it to rehydrate. And this is a 24-ounce jar. It dehydrated into a packet that is sort of wafer thin. This is one of the coolest things, this and that spaghetti sauce, to try and dehydrate. You use a metal rack and you put this plastic tray on top. You pour the salsa or the spaghetti sauce into this tray, making it as level as possible. And when it dries with a fruit roll-up consistency, which is just the most interesting thing. This is 2 cans of corn that I can break it up into different meals and add that, so I have some vegetables in my meals in the evening. These cans are 15.35 ounces times 2. It ended up being 3 1/2 ounces for this corn. It would take some time for it to rehydrate with moisture in the evening because these things are hard as a rock. But if you take that into consideration when you're preparing your food, I think it's really useful. Same thing for these beans. They were also in 15 3/4 ounce cans, and let's see how much they weigh. 2 7/8 ounces. This is a wonderful way to incorporate vegetables back into your diet. Additionally, I bought these Campari tomatoes. I'm not sure that's how you say that word, Campari tomatoes from Trader Joe's. They're just small little tomatoes. Cut them in half, and I ended up with these. This bag weighs 3 3/4 ounces. This is a fantastic way of getting your vitamins and getting essential nutrients that you need. What I did when I cut them up, I actually put salt and pepper and some seasonings on there before I put them in the dehydrator. So if you like sun-dried tomatoes, that chew, that texture, that feel, and you season them with your favorite seasonings, you are going to absolutely love those. I can eat these plain, or I can add them to a meal, and I did them so I could add them to spaghetti. And so I just wanted to have that chew in there. Add them at the last minute because I don't want them to become fully rehydrated. I thought this would be a great way to incorporate vegetables into my diet. 2 cans of beans weigh 4 1/4 ounces, and these are 14.5 ounce cans. They rehydrate fairly quickly. I also dehydrated bell peppers and took every color that I could find. They also add that texture if you don't fully rehydrate them into your food, and you're getting all kinds of vitamins when you incorporate this into your food. This weighs 2 3/4 ounces. This was 2 green, 2 red, 2 yellow, and 2 orange bell peppers. I cut up 1 pineapple and dehydrated it. This is 1 whole pineapple is in here, and it was a large pineapple. Now this is pretty heavy. It weighs 6 5/8 ounces. And once you dehydrate it, it is soft and chewy, and this is absolutely delicious. Two of my favorite things to get when I am getting ready to go on a backpacking trip is from Trader Joe's. It's these mandarin, soft and juicy mandarin pieces. They are so good. In addition to these chili spiced mango pieces. Because I do like a lot of seasoning in my food, I season a lot of what I am going to eat with this before I actually dehydrate it. You can dehydrate hamburger meat in advance, and there's a special technique to being able to do that where you add panko breadcrumbs to the meat mixture before you dehydrate it. It has the seasoning on it as well. It's not complicated to make the dehydrated hamburger meat mixture. There are a few more steps involved in that than I'm going to go into today. However, Dixie has a really good recipe for it on her website. This is also something that I add to my food for extra flavoring. I also carry around these hot sauce packets. This is a packet of honey and packets of mustard. I also have packets of teriyaki sauce. One of the other things my husband and I use is this little 2.2 ounce bottle of Serrano condiment sauce. We got this at REI and I think it cost $2. I tend to be a compartmentalized thinker and do better whenever I have everything sort of in compartments. I carry 2 of these Bic lighters. The reason why is in case one fails, I have another one. And it's in the same little Ziploc bag as the handle for my stove. Additionally, my rock bag and my hanging rope is in a Ziploc bag as well. The reason I do that is because it's easier for me to do it this way than have to kind of root around inside of my bear bag to try and find everything. It's just in a pouch and I can pull it straight out. I know exactly where it is. I am using a Z-Packs bear bag, and I put reflective tape on it on both sides. You can put whatever you want to on there, but this is what I wrote on mine. And the reason why is because, do you know how many people have these bear bags and they all look the same when they're hanging up? So if you put some kind of design with your reflective tape or write something on there that, identifies it as yours, it's a whole lot easier to find. And it keeps others from making a mistake by getting your bag as well. Also, I have a carabiner on the bottom of mine, and the reason why I do that is because when I roll it and put it together, they have a little loop right here. I put the carabiner in and I hang my bear bag that way. That is to put the pressure of the weight of the bear bag on this instead of on this buckle that could pop and break. This is one day's worth of meals for me. This is my dinner. This is my breakfast. I have one original bag and one apple cinnamon bag of oatmeal. And I dehydrated strawberries in order to have fruit that I could either incorporate into my oatmeal or I could just eat them plain. I also have a honey stinger waffle. During the day, I may have one of these protein bars. They have 12 grams of protein. I use this liquid IV. This is pina colada, and I have the raspberry lemonade propels. I take 2 of them. This is my food for one day. What I do is I take the food, I turn it down, I use a Ziploc bag, I take my oatmeal, my fruit, whatever kind of fruit I'm going to be wanting that day, my snacks for the day, and my drinks, and that's it. One day's worth of food for my trip. This buffalo style chicken mac and cheese was the very first backpacking meal I ever ate, and I'm telling you, I don't know if it was because I was so hungry or because it is just positively delicious, but I loved it. It is my favorite. One thing I can tell you is I added too much water whenever I made it the first time, and it was very soupy, but it didn't bother me because I actually enjoyed drinking the cheesy buffalo style sauce that was with it. So for me, it worked out fine. This is my dinner. Again, this is my breakfast. These are my snacks. And again, I have a liquid IV and cheaper pills. And packing up my bag. It's my oatmeal, my 2 snacks, and my drink mixtures. And you notice that there's no fruit in here for today. And the reason why is because those strawberries will last for 2 days. And so I already have those in another pack. Often I will mark my bags 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason I do that is because some of my packages of food are heavier than the others, and usually I want to eat the ones marked 1 and 2 first so I can eat the 2 heaviest meals and get them out of my pack. Let's weigh my meal packet for the day that included my buffalo style chicken mac and cheese. It is 12 3/8 ounces. The beef stew, which I have not yet tried, this is my packet for that day, and it weighs 12 5/8 ounces. This is another day's meal. My husband actually takes his packets that are for a serving of 2 and splits them into Ziploc bags. Therefore, this has never been used, and I tell him to save these for me because I actually use these Mylar bags for ramen noodles and for something else that I want to make inside of here, because all I do in my pot is boil water. I don't actually cook my food in the pot. And so I add the pork ramen noodles. This pulled pork pack has 2 servings, so I split this up, put half of it into this mixture. I get these roasted red bell pepper packets from Chick-fil-A, but I also have my own peppers that I've dehydrated and tomatoes as well. And then I add, and I know this might sound a little strange, but I add Golden's mustard and teriyaki sauce and hot sauce. I'm sure some of you are cringing right now, but it's really delicious. And what I do when I have anything that is liquid like this, I put them in their own little Ziploc bags and close them, because if something happens in my pack and they leak, I don't want them to find a way into the rest of the items that I have in my pack. Again, I have my liquid IV. This is tangerine flavored, and the raspberry lemonade, and my breakfast items. And then I add my snack items to this as well. This is a positively delicious meal. It's seasoned with corn, peppers, beans, and rice with zesty lime and pepper jack cheese. It's just rice and beans. There is no meat in this meal at all. And this is a serving for 1. It's just a serving for 1. It has 630 calories, 23 grams of protein. I add this Cholula hot sauce to it, and again, it's in the smaller Ziploc bag. I have my tangerine liquid IV, my Propels. Here is my snack again with 12 grams of protein for the day, and my breakfast items. Some of you may be wondering, well, if I don't cook in my pot, how do I fix my oatmeal? I have purchased these Mylar bags off of Amazon to be able to take those with me. They weigh absolutely nothing to be able to prepare my breakfast in the morning. Yes, that is more trash that you have that you need to carry out, but it's worth it to me because I really don't want to have to worry about washing my pot and having extra water to do that, especially in drought conditions or when it's difficult to find water. I don't want to have to be worried about having to wash out my pot. This is al pastor with cilantro and lime rice. It is tender, sweet, and smoky pork with chilies, pineapple, pinto beans, and cilantro lime rice. This has 2 servings per container, 660 calories per package. So 1 serving is 330 calories. 34 grams of protein per package, so 17 grams per 1 serving size. I add this Cholula hot sauce. I have my drinks that I've already shared with you before. Again, this is my favorite, one of my favorite snacks. my breakfast items, and this RX bar. This is the second backpacker's meal that I ever ate, and I have to tell you, I liked this so much. I think I could eat this just at home during a weeknight. One of the other things I do in order to cut costs from those expensive backpacker meals is eat ramen noodles, and I have to tell you, they aren't my favorite, but they'll do. I take this chili flavor and I add this tuna packet, spicy rice and beans to it, and I also add some of those hot sauce packages to it, or teriyaki sauce packages. It's very, very good. I will also fix this creamy chicken with the teriyaki chicken, and it has been very good as well. And as weird as this may sound, I have added this little cup of Jif peanut butter in order to get a little bit more protein and for it to have more of a pad thai taste. I hope some of those ideas have helped you. I had done some research, and it was indicated that 2 pounds a day is the guideline that you should use for your food. Most of my food weighs less than a pound. Now, I don't eat as much as a lot of other people may eat, and especially men, larger men, they may need way more calories and way more food. And it may not seem like that's a lot of food that's in my pack. And of course, hiker hunger may kick in, or probably will kick in at some point. I'll eat a lot more food than that. But for starting off, that is my food plan. And you saw oatmeal in my bags each day. I think that after 2 or 3 weeks of oatmeal, that's probably gonna have to, go by the wayside, and I'll find other substitutes for many of the things that I currently am planning on using. Whatever bear bag you choose to use, I would highly suggest that you put reflective tape on it in some design or with your name on it. I just think that it takes a whole lot of confusion out of the mix. The total weight of food that I have for a 5-day period is 7 pounds. Now, when I tell you that my food bags weigh less than a pound each, you may be wondering how I'm coming up with 7 pounds. It's because I carry those extra bags of dehydrated pineapple, or the bags of dehydrated fruit from Trader Joe's, or seeds or nuts to supplement the other things that I'm eating. So it's about 7 pounds per a 5-day period. Additionally, I may have 1 bag too many of food in my backpack. I don't know if I'll be coming into town every 4 days or every 5 days. But if it's every 4 days, it's not going to bother me to have that 1 additional day of food in my pack. I hope there was something useful that you gained from watching this video, and if there was, I would appreciate it so much if you would hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. So until next time, take good care, and I'll see you in my next video.